Holistic grazing or adaptive grazing, a natural grazing, mob grazing, actually it's all more or less the same. It's where you mimic nature by having a group of grazers grazing in a very concentrated pack, like it used to be in nature. I saw this land as a big potential in holding water and also ecosystem support. Yeah, that made me choose this location in ecological terms, but also where it is, and also the community, of course, people, community, bit of culture, and it's a nice mix. The activities that take place here are within the co-living, co-working. There is every night a little activity, a little event for people coming together. So if you start with that, we do co-gardening, we go co-cooking, dancing, skill sharing, or some breath work, exercises, these kind of things. It's within the group. Try to grow our own food here. Then there is education, so we also organize courses here, mainly in events, in natural building, mainly, and permaculture courses, gardening courses. That is then around the co-living. And then within the farm, so on the farm there we regenerate the land. So we do regenerative farming with holistic grazing and planting trees and agroforestry. That's a kind of long-term activity happening here. So here behind me we have a plot where we started this summer actually, when everything was brown there. Yeah, so in the summer we built electric fences there, paddocks, small paddocks there on that hill, on that side of the hill, the green side now. And there we left them for 1 or 2 days during the heat, when the heat started of the day, 11 in the morning. Then they went to we call it a siesta place, where they stay under the trees, they have water, food, everything, and 5 they came back. So they were not the whole day there, they were there in the cooler part of the day, in the summer. And they were just grazing, eating everything off there. And on the other side, the brown side now, there we did nothing. That part now is not eaten off. And yeah, you see the difference. You see a clear difference. And this is actually what is so motivating about holistic grazing, natural grazing, however you call it. It's so you really see your result. You see your result there. And it's just the first round. So you see where nature is more active now, and what happens above ground also happens underground, because actually we talk about soil building. It will absorb more water when it rains actually. That is actually a thing we also like to see happening. And yeah, that's happening on that side, slowly but surely. So we can also come back on that side earlier, and when the vegetation is a bit higher, then we eat off 1/3, we eat off. And then 2/3 we trample. Yeah, this is how we just keep it active. And we even gonna, from now on, we keep that part active, and soon next summer we do the whole hills. Why did I decide to do an off-grid place? Being independent is a good one, and just the idea that you just can live from the sun, that the sun is shining every day, and that you build systems that can completely support all your energy needs. But it's more complicated than actually less romantic than it really is, because it also limits you in, let's say, all kind of activities that certainly need a lot of energy. Or yeah, you can say that you put a big generator, but that doesn't work. So it makes too much noise or whatever. So it's also a bit limiting. I started here with my family 11 years ago, and the idea was at that time make a permaculture project, really living from farming. But actually I forgot about customers, because either in life every project you somehow you have to sustain yourself. So also a project has to sustain yourself. And that is through customers. So then it means through customers. So either you offer a service or you offer a product. And the idea was, yeah, we're gonna build that farm. And but I really had no idea about customers. So we went through some struggles. And in the meantime, also my family fell apart. And I went on by myself with a team. And we went through a transition from a permaculture project to more a co-living, co-working. And after 10 years, I also have now an idea how to regenerate land, how to get customers, what kind of products we might offer as farm products. Yeah, I'm still very enthusiastic actually now really to start the farm, get the farm going. And now here we are. In a piece of land here where we graze now, holistically graze for 5 or 6 years, and let's say more or less 3 times a year. So animals have been here for just 1 day, 3 times a year. That's it. And the last time they were here, this is more an advanced system. So it was full with vegetation. So from the spring on, there was dense vegetation. And you could not walk. You could not walk here in the summer because there was this vegetation that just holds you back. And so then we send the animals in. And then, because it's summer, in the summer we let them go on a bit longer till they have everything trampled down. So what you see then after an animal impact, we call it, then there's space to walk because everything is down. And actually what they do, they create mulch. A lot of gardeners, they know the term mulching. And as a gardener, you know how labor intensive it is to mulch your garden beds, throwing the plants, throwing the manure, throwing everything. And here, yeah, the animals, they can just do a hectare in just 1 day, for example, and they completely mulch it. So this is not only now that the plants have been let's say trampled, mulch, and the soil has been mulched, so it's quite a layer of mulch here, but it's mixed with manure and urine. And yeah, so you see here right away the grass answering after the first rains. We had 10 centimeters of rain now, and yeah, you see it's just wonderful green, which is pretty rare in this area. I'm from the Netherlands, for example. For us it's super normal to see the green grass. It's just everywhere. And now here in the southwest of Portugal, yeah, it's everywhere. It's more or less just brown dirt actually lying around everywhere, especially where animals are. There they just stand more or less in the dirt and they eat from straw bales. So this is super nice. And imagine what happened with the rains, what happened with the 10 centimeters of rain. Or the rain that falls from now, yeah, it's right away absorbed and it's right away going into the land. It's really wonderful. And how much food we're going to have in 1 or 2 months for the sheep again, that they will come in again and they do a graze, and yeah, it's just a wonderful system. There's many challenges actually, and I love challenges. That makes actually life really interesting. But yeah, there are many challenges. It's like sometimes it's a continuously challenge to run a project like this. But here, yeah, the main challenge is indeed being economical, sustainable. You somehow survive economically, you don't run out of cash flow. And here with a project like this, if you have so many things going on and also so many options, you can also drown in debt. So that was a challenge in its own. So there's so much possible and you can do this and can do that. And at some point we were running gardens, building stuff, having things on the land going on. Yeah, lack of focus. There were so many things. So that was actually the main challenge, and to refocus again from there on. Main challenge is to really stay focused and try to do things just one by one. What is it like to build a community like this? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I see us more as a co-living, co-working, and it's just beautiful to see people slow down and that they more or less reach themselves. In general, people connect first with themselves and then connect with each other. That's beautiful. And it's not always perfect, and people also sometimes have some issues with each other, but that's all part of it. Treehouse right away started, was one of the first projects we started. And actually it started off as a children project. When the platform was finished, we went on it with the children, and it is 6-7 meters from the ground. So actually it was too dangerous for children. But then a few weeks later, a guy from New York came by. So and he came over, he said, yes, I have that dream and I want to build a tree house, and I see you have a platform here. So can I make a chamber on top of that platform so it's some kind of tree house? And that's what he did. He worked non-stop. So then we had a platform and we had some kind of place where you could sleep. And we had always volunteers coming over, and then we made a deal with the volunteers wanted to sleep there, and then the deal was you can sleep there, but also you will construct something on the treehouse. And this is how naturally the treehouse started growing over the years. And then me also helping. It's very labor intensive to go up and down, you measure, and then sometimes we had sewing machines here and wood here, but still up and down, it's very labor intensive, build a tree house. And so it started growing, and even renovating it, we extended at some point, we extended it also a bit more to make it more like a nice room. And after 5 years or something, the treehouse was finished. It was also quite a challenge to make it waterproof, because the branches go literally through the roof. We had this problem about how do you do that? How do you make a roof with a branch coming out and make it waterproof? Till some Einstein came along and said, yes, easy. You just make a gutter under the branch of the tree, and then this is how you. So there's a whole gutter system under all the branches, and it is waterproof. The roof is waterproof. Imagine I could go back in time and I know what I know now. Just like a computer game, right? You crash on one level and then you just start again, and you can try again. But life is not like that. Yeah, a few things. So ecologically I would plant more trees, but I didn't have so much knowledge actually how to, in this climate and work, how to plant trees, so I had to learn it. But I would start with trees first, because before you know it, you're a few years in your 5-6 years in your project, you still have to plant trees. Customers is a really important one, just knowing before you buy land or whatever you do, just know kind of product or service you like to offer, and then what kind of customers you like to have, and start building up everything from there.